Currently, he's developing Charlie Murder. It's a punk rock themed brawl PG. And that's out on the floor right now. Next is Ichiro Lambe. He's the CEO and janitor for Dejobaan Games. Dejobaan Games, my bad. I worked on that so much the last 5 minutes. Effed it up. Currently developing Drunken Robot Pornography, so check that one out as well on the floor. I'm Erik Johnson. I work as a content developer for Arcen Games. We're currently developing A Valley Without Wind. It's a procedurally generated 2D side-scroller. I also write for Games Magazine, MCV, and indie games blog DIY Gamer. So give these guys a hand. So we'll be asking questions, and basically I'll be asking questions, jumping in on some of the discussion as well. Audience, you can submit questions throughout the hour by flagging down our enforcer, who is right there. She's got a coffee pot that I stole from my hotel, as well as a pen and some sheets of paper. So if you guys have any questions at all, flag her down, and we'll take a look, and hopefully we can get to as many as possible today. Okay, so our first question, this is for everybody. What's your advice on how or where to begin, either as an individual or a team, when developing a game independently?
Who starts? Oh, I start. All right. I'm just going to talk for half an hour in a sort of a monotone like this. So, look, step number one is make a game. Everybody knows this, right? Step number two, if you can do it, network, because a bunch of independents together are stronger than one independent. You'll see that, for example, the Mega Booth. 16 indies getting together, banding together. Sometimes we work on each other's projects, sometimes we just help each other. You know, like if Erik is crying, I will console him. Network.
Very emotional.
So those are my 2 points. I'm going to pass it on.
I would say, make lots of games. Don't be afraid to just practice, and don't be disheartened when your first games look like crap, because that happens to everyone. And then enter lots of contests, because you never know when it might work, and that's exactly how it worked for me. I was making really crappy games that no one likes to play, and then eventually I made Dishwasher Dead Samurai and entered it in a contest, and then from then on it's been my career, and it's been wicked awesome. So yeah, Dreamville play, which is still going on.
I like how you said wicked awesome, because this is Boston.
It is Boston, yeah. That's a Boston word, wicked. And friggin', is friggin' in Boston?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, friggin's like the nice one. So I had to get a good cab driver on the way over. I would say spend less time planning, more time doing. Get into it, do it. Just don't let anything hold you back. Start making games, start making what you want. If you don't have the tools or you don't have the education, then get together with some people, figure out what you want to do in the development process and the team, and get it going.
Oh, can I, one more thing, and talk to your other fellow indie developers, because we love talking to other people who are interested in making games.
Absolutely, it's very important to, not just be on an island. First of all, you never know if you have a good game if you don't bounce it off some people, if you have team members, or if you have friends, development. It's incredibly important to get feedback from development, even players down the line when that's ready to go.
On the note of stop playing other games, I kind of have this new view on game development as basically a massively multiplayer meta game that we're all playing, where the goal is to prevent other people from doing work. That's right. So on that metric, Skyrim super kicked my ass. Like a week, it's just like a week down the drain. Just they won.
All right, our next question: What platforms have you guys developed for, and what would you say is the best platform for an aspiring developer to start out on?
So I made lots of crappy PC games, and then basically Xbox Live Arcade was like my, I don't know, like revelation of this will work now. So I'm like super big on XBLA, and I know people have different other platforms that work for them too. But that just works for me, and like I've always dreamed of making console games since when I was young. So it's like this kind of realization of the dream.
Okay, we do PC and mobile. We're best known for a game called Reckless Disregard for Gravity that is on Steam, and as far as I'm concerned, and this may not be 100% accurate, PC equals Steam for us. We also just launched a title called for this, little guy, and that's Apple, and I'm less sure about that platform. I mean, it's been a month, so I don't know if we're going to be like living in the ramen poorhouse or not, but I recommend, trying both, either.
Yeah, we're PC Mac developers. I would definitely suggest, I think it was Cliffy who said this as well, and at GDC, PC is where you want to start.
Are you name dropping?
Name dropped. And Cliffy B, I think it was, yeah. And he said, I believe in it. I mean, I think PC is the platform you want to start on. If there's a lot of options there. Some would suggest, I don't know who, but some might suggest Xbox Live Indie Games. Some might suggest iOS.
There's no shame in Xbox Live Indie Games.
Oh, absolutely not. It's just it's a great place to start. Absolutely.
It is like a clearinghouse of Minecraft clones right now.
Yes, yeah, definitely. But yeah, I would definitely suggest PC Mac or just PC. And it can be a new thing from browser to download all that, anything like that.
Does anybody know the Vectrex? Has anybody owned a Vectrex? All right, sweet. Don't develop for that because it got discontinued in 1985.
Some people still develop for the Commodore, so I don't know.
There was a Super Nintendo game that just came out like a couple weeks ago. Did you see that?
Is it the Super Famicom games?
Well, it was something about like a Dream World or something.
I have to get that.
It was on Destructoid. Some guys are still developing Super Nintendo games.
Sure.
Like you can buy the cart and everything.
All right. Here's a good one we had yesterday from our audience. I'm lazy, so I'm just telling it from audience questions. In what stage of the development process would it be recommended to show off your game you're working on to fellow developers? And then at what stage would you want to show it off to the public? Yeah, sure. We at Arcen Games we really advocate open development, which means from step one on, we're sharing, we're blogging, we're writing a lot about games. Our current game that one has been in development since January of 2011, and the first time we showed off screenshots for that was 3 weeks into that. And let me tell you, we got crushed. I mean, absolutely obliterated by players and stuff because it just. 3 weeks into development, the screenshots are not going to pop or anything. However, that's something that we, knew was probably going to come, and we were going to deal with that. As we've gone on through development over the last year and about 3 months, every couple of months we would release new screenshots, and every couple of months, some of those guys who would just crush us would all of a sudden go, "Oh, this looks a lot better." And it goes, "Yeah, we actually have a few months under our belly now." But it's really important for us to share with everyone our process because we feel that promotes development and also promotes sort of the idea of alphas, betas, which we're really huge on. But that's kind of, we're procedurally generated games, so we need a lot of people taking a look early. We need a lot of testers coming in early. It's certainly not for all games, puzzle games like Braid and Jonathan Blow. He keeps it very hidden for a long time. But that's just not our style. It's very important that we have a lot of interest early on. And as the de facto PR shill for my company, it's very important for us to get the noise about our games out early and stuff, regardless of how they look at that point.
So the question is, how early do we show our stuff off? How early do we start talking to other devs? Could every independent developer in the room stand up for me now? 1, 2, 3, 4. My God, you're amazing. All right, look, here's what I do. Every one of these guys that I know, I will go out and have a beer with when I have an idea or when I have anything, like Michael over there or Mike there, different mics, right? I will talk to and say, hey, does this elevator pitch sound sensible to you? And if they say, it's all right, then we need to go back and to rethink it. And when I put screenshots out, as Eric does, I go out to my friends and my colleagues and I say, what does this look like? And if they say, then it's time to redo that. So I would say ASAP, even before you have a game and throughout the entire process.
I don't think I have a strategy. I basically just, sort of like you said, I'll kind of pass media around. A lot of times I'll just put up random screenshots on Twitter or something just to kind of gauge the reaction. And then, I would kind of put out there that with Charlie Murder, we kind of sort of shot ourselves in the foot in terms of like just getting attention out of it because we were showing it off when it was supposed to be an Xbox indie game. And the style, like since the original, you know, when we showed it at PAX East 2 years ago. So the style since then, like, has totally, you know,